What a stupid question that is. What a stupid question. But I watch you a lot. You ask a lot of stupid questions.
In a city built on ambition, his name is etched in gold on its skyline. A man who transformed from a real estate scion into a reality television star, and then, against all odds, into the 45th President of the United States. Donald J. Trump is a figure who commands attention, provokes debate, and exists in a perpetual state of spectacle. His life story is a testament to the power of branding, the allure of disruption, and a personality that refuses to be ignored. To understand Donald Trump is to understand a lifetime of building a mythos. But behind the bravado, the catchphrases, and the political firestorms lies a biography that begins in the outer boroughs of New York City, far from the golden penthouse. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York City. He was the fourth of 5 children born to Frederick Christ Fred Trump, a wealthy real estate developer who built a fortune on middle-class housing in Brooklyn and Queens, and Mary and MacLeod Trump, a Scottish immigrant homemaker. From his father, Donald inherited a drive for business and a keen understanding of the value of a dollar and a property deed. From his mother, he gained a sense of ambition and a flair for the dramatic. Seeking discipline for his energetic son, Fred Trump sent Donald to the New York Military Academy. There, he excelled as a student and, more importantly, as a leader, becoming a captain and thriving in a competitive environment. After graduation, he briefly attended Fordham University before transferring to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, from which he graduated in 1968 with a degree in economics. He entered the family business, initially working with his father in the outer boroughs. But Donald's eyes were set on a bigger prize, the glittering island of Manhattan. With a mix of shrewd negotiation, bold gambles, and a masterful use of publicity, he began his ascent. His early triumphs, like the renovation of the Commodore Hotel into the Grand Hyatt and the construction of the iconic Trump Tower, were more than buildings, they were statements. He was brash, he was loud, and he was impossible to ignore. The 1980s cemented Trump as a celebrity billionaire. His name became synonymous with luxury and excess. He owned casinos, airlines, and beauty pageants. He was a constant feature in the tabloids, his personal life as much a public spectacle as his business dealings. But the good times weren't built to last. The early 1990s brought a severe recession and massive debt, pushing several of his companies into corporate bankruptcy. For a lesser man, it would have been the end. For Donald Trump, it was a plot twist. He rebuilt his brand, not just on real estate, but on his own persona. The comeback was capped by the launch of the reality television show, The Apprentice. For over a decade, he played the part of the ultimate boss, a business oracle whose judgment was final. The catchphrase, "You're fired," entered the cultural lexicon. It was this persona, the decisive, successful, no-nonsense tycoon, that he rode down a golden escalator in 2015 to announce his candidacy for President of the United States. His campaign was unlike any other. It defied political convention, political correctness, and the expectations of the entire political establishment. He tapped into a deep well of populist and nationalist sentiment, promising to make America great again. Against all predictions, he defeated Democratic heavyweight Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election, a victory that sent shockwaves around the globe. His presidency was a period of unprecedented tumult and transformation. It was defined by massive tax cuts, a reshaping of the federal judiciary, a hardline stance on immigration, and a new approach to foreign policy centered on America First. It was also defined by constant controversy, the Russia investigation, 2 impeachments, and a communication style conducted primarily through social media, specifically Twitter, where he bypassed the media to speak directly to his millions of followers. His term culminated with the COVID-19 pandemic, which consumed his final year in office and deeply impacted the nation's health and economy. After losing the 2020 election to Joe Biden, his refusal to concede and claims of widespread voter fraud culminated in the January 6, 2021, attack on the U.S. Capitol by a mob of his supporters, a dark chapter in American history. Yet, his story was not over. Facing multiple legal challenges and indictments, he maintained a firm grip on the Republican Party and launched a comeback bid for the White House in 2024. As he campaigns to once again become president, the scrutiny is more intense than ever, not just on his policies and past, but on the man himself. At 78 years old, his physical and mental fitness have become a central topic of public discourse. This scrutiny has often focused on a seemingly minor but persistent detail, the state of his hands. President Donald Trump was spotted with bruising on the back of his right hand again on a Monday in the Oval Office. This was merely the latest sighting, days after he was seen covering the persistent marking with makeup and photographed over the weekend with a separate bruise on his left hand. These sightings have fueled months-long concerns that the 79-year-old president is suffering from an underlying health condition. According to reports from NBC News, Trump has been spotted with this bruising on his right hand on several occasions since at least August of last year, including during the visit of French President Emmanuel Macron. The White House's explanation has been consistent. Initially, they blamed the bruising on vigorous handshaking, an explanation Trump himself gave in a December interview with Time magazine, stating, "It's from shaking hands with thousands of people." In July, the White House released a letter from the president's physician, Dr. Sean Barbabella, that sought to provide a more detailed medical explanation. The letter stated the bruising is consistent with minor soft tissue irritation from frequent handshaking and the use of aspirin, which is taken as part of a standard cardiovascular prevention regimen. But the letter revealed a more specific diagnosis. Donald Trump was diagnosed with chronic venous insufficiency. Dr. Barbabella described this as a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70. Crucially, testing showed there was no evidence of deep vein thrombosis, DVT, or arterial disease, ruling out more immediately dangerous circulatory problems. Chronic venous insufficiency is a prevalent disease that affects approximately 150,000 new patients per year, according to the National Institutes of Health. In simple terms, it occurs when the valves in the veins that keep blood flowing toward the heart become weak or damaged. This allows blood to pool in the veins, most commonly in the legs and feet, leading to swelling, varicose veins, a feeling of heaviness, and, significantly, a susceptibility to bruising and skin changes. The NIH notes that if left untreated, the condition can lead to a diminished quality of life and more serious ailments, including venous ulcers that are difficult to heal. This condition also aligns with other observations. Trump has been photographed with swelling in his ankles during his second term. Dr. Barbabella's letter addressed this, noting that Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs and that, out of an abundance of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House medical unit. This wasn't the first time Trump's hands caused a media frenzy. In January of last year, he was photographed with a patchwork of red markings on his right hand that resembled blisters. The marks disappeared within hours, leading to a wave of wild speculation online, with some observers making baseless comparisons to syphilis. More sober medical experts suggested it was likely a simple rash caused by anything from a golf club grip to dry skin, exacerbated by his age. While his physical health is a topic of discussion, it is often intertwined with questions about his mental acuity. His political opponent, President Joe Biden, faced intense and relentless scrutiny over his age and perceived cognitive decline, which ultimately led to his exit from the 2024 race. This spotlight has, in turn, refocused attention on Trump. The president's rambling speeches, his frequent habit of mixing up names, referring to Barack Obama when he means Joe Biden, or misstating the city or country he is in, and his often disjointed narratives have raised questions among critics about his own mental fitness. They wonder if these flubs are simply a quirky speaking style or potential signs of something more. Trump and his doctors have vehemently pushed back. Dr. Barbabella conducted Trump's annual physical in April, declaring him to be in excellent cognitive and physical health. Trump himself has long bragged about his cognitive ability, repeatedly offering to take a cognitive exam alongside Biden during the 2024 campaign. He has framed his rambling, digressive speaking style not as a sign of decline, but as a purposeful speaking style that connects with his base. The discussion about Donald Trump's health is more than just medical, it is deeply political. For his supporters, the reports from his doctor are taken at face value. They see a man with immense energy, capable of long rallies and intense campaigning, and dismiss the concerns as yet another partisan attack from a media they distrust. For his detractors, every bruise, every verbal stumble, is evidence that he is unfit for the immense physical and cognitive demands of the Oval Office. In the end, the story of Donald Trump is still being written. The boy from Queens who built an empire on his name now seeks to reclaim the highest office in the land, with the world watching his every move and analyzing every mark on his hand. His biography is a saga of resilience, controversy, and an unparalleled connection with millions of Americans. And as with every chapter of his life, it is surrounded by noise, spectacle, and a relentless, unwavering focus on the man himself. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel, The Celebrity X Files, for more documentaries like this. Thank you for watching.